If you've begun your journey to the cloud, you'll be familiar with the basic steps involved in an initial build-out. Yes, you spin up compute, storage and networking instances, but what else? Well, you need to create users and assign them roles or permissions. And you'll also be configuring some sort of firewall rules to restrict access to those resources. These are the basics, and they should be simple, but why do they catch so many people out? Let's start with those users. We use IAM to manage users and permissions, and at first, everything's fine. But over time, we end up with a bunch of users who have access to systems they really shouldn't, or maybe their access levels for a specific resource are just too permissive. This might have made sense at a particular point in time, but trying to make sense of it all months or years down the road is problematic at best. It's a similar story with firewall rules. Sure, it seems simple at first, but this is a manual task that needs to be precise, and any changes to your environment will often result in corresponding changes in those rules. All too often, those changes never get implemented, or we find that they've been misconfigured. So many stories we hear about concerning exposed buckets are ultimately caused by configuration errors. The impact to businesses can be catastrophic, and if you thought trying to manage that within a given cloud environment was problematic, consider for a moment a multi-cloud deployment. Different feature sets, dashboards, and processes create even more challenges. Our approach to this is simple. With Dome 9, you're able to visualize your cloud environments to better understand what it is you're trying to secure. Posture management and compliance allows you to comply with regulatory requirements while identifying misconfigurations. And then there's active protection, which helps organizations protect their identities by securing sensitive permissions and avoiding privilege escalations. Just say you have a production environment in AWS. With a mouse click, you get instant visibility across the various VPCs and how all of those resources are connected, including their permissions. You can see at a glance how close resources are to the internet and what's being allowed in. Perhaps you want to dig into the specifics of a security group that's been configured. And with another click, you've got all of those details right in front of you. Need to modify something that's not quite right? That can be done right here too. Getting on top of compliance is just as simple. Out of the box, you have access to all of the standards you would expect, from HIPAA to GDPR to PCI DSS and more. And it's easy to customize these to create your own standards. A quick search reveals what exceptions have been found and lists each instance where an entity has triggered an exception. You'll see, along with the results, an explanation of each item, what the value should be, and what's required in order to remediate it. Best of all, those remediations can be applied automatically. As you make your way towards a fully compliant state, you can track the progress along the way. If you want true visibility across your multi-cloud environments, take a free trial of Dome 9 today, or follow the link to find out more.